Ladies and gentlemen, the ceremony will begin momentarily. I would like to take this opportunity to ask you to please find your seats and silence cell phones. Thank you. Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. On behalf of the Commanding Officer, Officer Training Command Newport, welcome to the graduation ceremony for Officer Candidate School Class 0520. Guests are encouraged to take photographs from the viewing area at any time during the ceremony, except during the playing of the national anthem. The order of events for today's ceremony is as follows. At 10:30, Captain Nicholson, United States Navy, Commanding Officer of Officer Training Command Newport, and Rear Admiral Shoshana S. Chatfield, United States Navy, President of the Naval War College, the guests of honor for today's ceremony, will arrive. Guests will be asked to rise for the arrival of the official party and remain standing for the playing of the national anthem and invocation. The commanding officer and guests of honor will address the graduating class and administer the oath of office. The graduates will then be recognized through the presentation of their commission by the commanding officer and the guests of honor. Guests will be asked to rise for the playing of the service songs and the final dismissal. Again, allow me to emphasize that you are encouraged to take photographs at any time during the ceremony, with the exception of the playing of the national anthem. Ladies and gentlemen, please rise for the arrival of the official party and remain standing for the national anthem and invocation. Officer Training Command Newport, arriving. Naval War College, arriving. Ladies and gentlemen, Chaplain Sutphin will now offer the invocation.
Let us pray. Eternal Father, we come to you in prayer as our first and highest duty, offering our grateful praise for your abundant goodness. Make us aware of your presence and be known among us as the author of strength, mercy, and joy. The character of Class 0520 has been established through suffering and toil. They have been tested and found worthy. May this be for them no transitory state. May they be known while they serve throughout their lives and long after for their consummate integrity. What they have gained in knowledge and physical strength, match for them now in spiritual will to accomplish far greater things in service to the fleet, the nation, and the world. And may they always recall fondly their formative moments on these grounds. Bless each member of this class team by the measure of what they have generously given. Let them be encouraged by the continued success of these new ensigns. Guide us to honor those united in applause today and the many more around the world who join us, and all those they represent who are active in the course of events that lead now to this celebration. Faithfully we offer these prayers to you, O God, our refuge and shield. Bless those who go forth to stand the watch. May all here gathered find ourselves daily restored, confirmed, strengthened, and established by your mighty hand. In your holy name, amen.
Ladies and gentlemen, please be seated. Ladies and gentlemen, Captain Mark Nicholson, Commanding Officer, Officer Training Command, Newport.
General Moeller, Admiral Chatfield, captains, colonels, distinguished guests, family members, friends, and most importantly, soon-to-be commissioned ensigns, Class 0520. Good morning. Good morning, sir! Welcome to Newport and this morning's graduation ceremony. I'd like to start off by formally thanking and recognizing the members of Navy Band Northeast. Patriotic music inspires us all, and I truly thank you all for being here this morning. Ladies and gentlemen, please join me in recognizing Navy Band Northeast. It's my sincere honor and privilege to be with all of you this morning to recognize and celebrate the achievement of these 85 young men and women sitting in front of me. America's very best and brightest, as they are commissioned as the newest ensigns in the United States Navy. For the families, I want to thank you not only for making the long trip to be here this morning, but for the performance of your sons and daughters, husbands and wives, brothers and sisters. Your love and support have helped produce the quality individuals seated here and enabled our outstanding team of recruit division commanders, drill instructors, and class officers to further develop them morally, mentally, and physically into future leaders of character and competence. On behalf of the Navy and on behalf of a grateful nation, thank you for your efforts. For Class 0520, the profession of naval officers, much like the medical and law professions, requires its members to take an oath. In just a few minutes, your parents, spouses, and loved ones, along with the OTC staff and myself, will bear witness as you raise your right hand and swear a sacred oath to support and defend the Constitution. This oath carries far more obligations than privileges. It carries the obligation to serve in the most trusted institution in America. According to Gallup polls that stretch back for more than a decade, the American people trust the military more than any other institution. A list that includes the Supreme Court, Congress, organized religion, police, public schools, our medical system, and our criminal justice system. It is up to you, to maintain this trust. As George Washington once stated in an address to the officers of the Virginia Regiment, remember that it is the actions and not the commission that make the officer, and that there is more expected from him or her than the title. As an officer, you will lead and mentor what is truly one of our most valuable national assets, the enlisted men and women of our Navy. The American people are trusting you to care for and lead them in defending our Constitution. I challenge you to maintain and build upon the American people's trust through your actions as a naval officer. I'm extremely proud of the effort you've expended over the last couple of months. It's my pleasure and honor to welcome all of you as naval officers into the wardroom of the world's greatest Navy. I have another honor and privilege this morning, that of introducing our guest speaker, Rear Admiral Shoshana Chatfield. Her full bio can be found in your programs, but I'll hit a few highlights. She commissioned via the Naval ROTC program at Boston University and holds several degrees, including a Master of Public Administration from Harvard and a doctorate in education from the University of San Diego. As a career naval aviator, she's operationally flown several Type Model Series helicopters and has commanded at all levels, including the Island Knights of Helicopter Sea Combat Squadron 25, a Joint Provincial Reconstruction Team in Farah Province, Afghanistan, Helicopter Sea Combat Wing, U.S. Pacific Fleet, and as a flag officer, Joint Region Marianas. Currently, she serves as the first female president of the Naval War College, right here in Newport, Rhode Island. Please join me in welcoming this morning's guest speaker, Rear Admiral Shoshana Chatfield.
Good morning. Okay, one more time. Good morning. Good morning. I would like to welcome all family, friends, and loved ones. I'd like to acknowledge Lieutenant General Moeller and Captain Nicholson. Thank you so much for being here today to celebrate the commissioning of 85 new naval officers. Your support of these fine men and women has provided them a strong foundation which will carry them through many long days, many challenging situations in the future. Thank you for being such a great part of our strong Navy family. And now I'm going to talk specifically to the officer candidates of Class 0520. Now, depending on your prior service, because some people are very new to the Navy and some have already had a long experience with the Navy, I want to congratulate you on achieving what may be your first, but what is certainly your biggest milestone in your naval career. There are undoubtedly more challenges and triumphs in your future, but your commitment has been tested rigorously, and each of you has proved that you are up to the task that lies ahead. Now, I remember vividly being in your shoes, and I remember how excited I was on my commissioning day and looking forward to packing everything I owned into my 1988 Ford Escort GT metallic blue. I was on my way to move down to Pensacola, and the closer I got on that drive, the more excited I got. I was going to flight school, and I was so full of resolve, and I hope you can identify with that. Full of resolve that the next phase of my training would be a resounding success. But unfortunately, I am not mechanically inclined. At Boston University, I had majored in French language and literature, also international relations, but you get the picture. And I remember sitting in one of the first engine courses at Navy Flight School, and the instructor said out loud, "The engine oil pressure transducer resembles a spark plug." And I knew I was in serious trouble. That first exam did not go well, and I tried everything to master the material, and here's what it took for me. Well, first I tried putting the NATOPS flight manual under my pillow. I'd heard that would help. It doesn't help. I'm not saying I never did it again, but I'm saying it didn't help. But I did what I had to do. I read the entire standardization manual into my trusty recording device. It was a cassette player back in those days. And I put it in that Ford GT, and I listened to it everywhere I went. My own voice reading that standardization manual. I read every single chapter and recorded every single chapter except for the chapter on air conditioning. I thought, what is the likelihood that a question from these 2 pages will be on the exam? And I received a 98% on the exam because there was a question about the air conditioning system which I had not given the same amount of attention to. And I tell you this story because it may be the thing that you don't know now that becomes your challenge. And you will find a way to get through it. You will find a way alone or with the help of your peer group to get through it. And it's essential that you don't give up. With that resolve that you have today, that you carry that resolve and you make your success in the future. So, once you've put that mindset to work to successfully complete the next phase of your training, and you go out to join the operational fleet, I recommend that you focus on 3 things. Earn your warfare qualification, learn your job, and then discover and offer to the United States Navy your unique gift. You have something to give. You bring something that no one else does, not the person sitting next to you and not the person that you're relieving. You have a unique way of seeing the world. You have a set of experiences, and you have a set of talents. And that combination of things is going to fit into some gap in your organization. And you've got to notice it, and you've got to offer it. And that's very risky when you're trying to accomplish so many other things, but you're going to see that opportunity, and it is up to you to seize that opportunity and make that contribution. So I want to tell you a story about that thing that you could give. And I'm reminded of a lieutenant who worked for me on Guam. His name was Gabe Fills. And what he had to give was a unique way of explaining technical concepts to people who didn't have the same engineering background that he had. It was extraordinary the way he could break it down and coach a peer and help them through a misunderstanding or a way of expressing the concept. He was involved in peer mentorship, and that made our organization better. That thing that he did, that he realized it was up to him, no one else had it, he had it. It made us better. It increased our standardization. It facilitated functional maintenance check flights on helicopters. Extraordinary. I was his commanding officer, and I noticed that. It was not part of his desk job. It was something he did because it needed doing. So I told you there were 3 things. Number 1, get qualified. It seems like a simple concept, but I don't mean get qualified by showing up and doing everything the Navy tells you to do. I mean get qualified as though your success and the success of our Navy and our nation depends on it. Pursue it aggressively. Get qualified. Secondly, learn your job. You're going to be a leader. and people will follow you. There's a relationship between leaders and followers that is dependent on trust. Use your resources and use your relationship with your senior enlisted to develop your skills and your characteristics as a leader. And the third thing is to look within and to really know what you have to give and to see that opening when it's relevant and how to give it to the organization. So I think I may have talked too long, but I had 3 things to tell you about success as a junior officer. And if you remember only one of those things, I'm going to reiterate it now. Get qualified. Don't wait to be told what to do. Aggressively pursue your qualifications. We have an increasingly technical service. We have an increasingly complex series of qualifications. You can do this. Set yourself to it. Take the resolve that you feel today with the excitement that you have in going out into this great Navy of ours and pursue those qualifications. No time to lose. I want to thank you for allowing me to be here and honored by your choice to serve in the United States Navy, the world's greatest Navy. And I wish you the very best of luck. Congratulations.
The graduating class will now receive the oath of office. Would all military personnel in uniform please come to the position of attention? Class 0520, raise your right hand.
Please repeat after me. I state your name. Having been appointed an ensign in the United States Navy, do hereby accept such an appointment. And do solemnly swear. That I will support and defend the Constitution of the United States. Against all enemies, foreign and domestic. That I will bear true faith and allegiance to the same. That I make this obligation freely. Without any mental reservation or purpose of evasion. And that I will well and faithfully discharge the duties of the office on which I am about to enter. So help me God.
Ladies and gentlemen, please be seated. The graduates assembled will now be recognized by the commanding officer for their achievements while undergoing training here at Officer Training Command Newport. Ensign Adams. Ensign Adams has been designated an intelligence officer and will be assigned to the Naval Intelligence Officer Basic Course in Virginia Beach, Virginia. Ensign Adams is a graduate of Texas A&M University. Ensign Adams. Ensign Adams has been designated a nuclear submarine officer and will be assigned to the Nuclear Power School in Charleston, South Carolina. Ensign Adams is a graduate of Virginia Military Institute. Ensign Azzaroni. Ensign Azzaroni has been designated a student naval aviator and will be assigned to the Aviation Pre-Flight Indoctrination in Pensacola, Florida. Ensign Azzaroni is a graduate of the University of California, Irvine. Ensign Betts. Ensign Betts has been designated a student naval aviator and will be assigned to the Aviation Pre-Flight Indoctrination in Pensacola, Florida. Ensign Betts is a graduate of the University of Kentucky. Ensign Bonamassa. Ensign Bonamassa has been designated a surface warfare officer and will be assigned to the USS Arlington LPD-24 in Norfolk, Virginia. Ensign Bonamassa is a graduate of Rutgers University. Ensign Capps. Ensign Capps has been designated a power school instructor and will be assigned to the Nuclear Power School in Charleston, South Carolina. Ensign Capps is a graduate of the University of Texas. Ensign Chandler. Ensign Chandler has been designated a surface warfare officer and will be assigned to the USS Cole DDG-67 in Norfolk, Virginia. Ensign Chandler is a graduate of Truman State University. Ensign Cook. Ensign Cook has been designated a surface warfare officer and will be assigned to USS Green Bay LPD-20 in Sasebo, Japan. Ensign Cook is a graduate of Florida State University. Ensign Cooper. Ensign Cooper has been designated a surface warfare officer and will be assigned to USS Somerset LPD-25 in San Diego, California. Ensign Cooper is a graduate of St. John's University. Ensign Cortez. Ensign Cortez has been designated a Supply Corps officer and will be assigned to the Navy Supply Corps School in Newport, Rhode Island. Ensign Cortez is a graduate of Alabama State University. Ensign Krongire. Ensign Krongire has been designated a student naval aviator and will be assigned to the Aviation Pre-Flight Indoctrination in Pensacola, Florida. Ensign Krongire is a graduate of California State University, Northridge. Ensign Duran. Ensign Duran has been designated a surface warfare officer and will be assigned to the USS Laboon DDG-58 in Norfolk, Virginia. Ensign Duran is a graduate of the College of the Ozarks. Ensign Fernandez. Ensign Fernandez has been designated a surface warfare officer and will be assigned to the USS Winston Churchill DDG-81 in Norfolk, Virginia. Ensign Fernandez is a graduate of Temple University. Ensign Glazer. Ensign Glazer has been designated a Supply Corps officer and will be assigned to the Navy Supply Corps School in Newport, Rhode Island. Ensign Glazer is a graduate of Florida Atlantic University. Ensign Gomez. Ensign Gomez has been designated a surface warfare officer and will be assigned to the USS John Paul Jones DDG-53 in Pearl Harbor, Hawaii. Ensign Gomez is a graduate of Humboldt State University and is a distinguished naval graduate. Ensign Haga. Ensign Haga has been designated a nuclear submarine officer and will be assigned to the Nuclear Power School in Charleston, South Carolina. Ensign Haga is a graduate of Florida State University. Ensign Harris. Ensign Harris has been designated a cryptologic warfare officer and will be assigned to the Naval Information Operations Command in Fort Gordon, Georgia. Ensign Harris is a graduate of Carleton College. Ensign Hatfield. Ensign Hatfield has been designated a surface warfare officer and will be assigned to the USS Bonhomme Richard LHD-6 in San Diego, California. Ensign Hatfield is a graduate of the University of Central Florida. Ensign Mariano. Ensign Mariano has been designated a student naval aviator and will be assigned to the Aviation Pre-Flight Indoctrination in Pensacola, Florida. Ensign Mariano is a graduate of the University of San Diego. Ensign Mays. Ensign Mays has been designated a student naval aviator and will be assigned to the Aviation Pre-Flight Indoctrination in Pensacola, Florida. Ensign Mays is a graduate of Texas Tech University. Ensign Metzger. Ensign Metzger has been designated a surface warfare officer and will be assigned to the USS Gunston Hall LSD-44, Norfolk, Virginia. Ensign Metzger is a graduate of the University of Florida. Ensign Middlemiss. Ensign Middlemiss has been designated a surface warfare officer and will be assigned to the USS Bulkley, DDG-84 in Norfolk, Virginia. Ensign Middlemiss is a graduate of the University of South Carolina. Ensign Miura. Ensign Miura has been designated a nuclear surface warfare officer and will be assigned to the USS Fort McHenry, LSD-43 in Newport, Florida. Ensign Miura is a graduate of Louisiana State University and is a distinguished naval graduate. Ensign Nicholson. Ensign Nicholson has been designated a student naval flight officer and will be assigned to the Aviation Pre-Flight Indoctrination in Pensacola, Florida. Ensign Nicholson is a graduate of Jacksonville University. Ensign Nolan. Ensign Nolan has been designated a student naval aviator and will be assigned to the Aviation Pre-Flight Indoctrination in Pensacola, Florida. Ensign Nolan is a graduate of Indiana University. Ensign Pyle. Ensign Pyle has been designated a student naval aviator and will be assigned to the Aviation Pre-Flight Indoctrination in Pensacola, Florida. Ensign Pyle is a graduate of Florida State University. Ensign Radu. Ensign Radu has been designated a surface warfare officer and will be assigned to the USS Fort McHenry, LSD-43 in Newport, Florida. Ensign Radu is a graduate of California State University, Sacramento. Ensign Restrepo. Ensign Restrepo has been designated a nuclear submarine officer and will be assigned to the Nuclear Power School in Charleston, South Carolina. Ensign Restrepo is a graduate of the University of South Florida. Ensign Santos. Ensign Santos has been designated a student naval aviator and will be assigned to the Aviation Pre-Flight Indoctrination in Pensacola, Florida. Ensign Santos is a graduate of Bridgewater State University. Ensign Sherrill. Ensign Sherrill has been designated a surface warfare officer and will be assigned to the USS Fort McHenry, LSD-43 in Newport, Florida. Ensign Sherrill is a graduate of Howard Payne University. Ensign Shively. Ensign Shively has been designated a student naval flight officer and will be assigned to the Aviation Pre-Flight Indoctrination in Pensacola, Florida. Ensign Shively is a graduate of the University of North Florida. Ensign Silva. Ensign Silva has been designated a cryptologic warfare officer and will be assigned to the Cryptologic Warfare Activity 66 in Fort Meade, Maryland. Ensign Silva is a graduate of the University of Texas at El Paso. Ensign Skradnik. Ensign Skradnik has been designated a surface warfare officer and will be assigned to the USS Roosevelt DDG-80 in Rota, Spain. Ensign Skradnik is a graduate of Excelsior College. Ensign Tabus. Ensign Tabus has been designated a surface warfare officer and will be assigned to the USS Kidd, DDG-100 in Everett, Washington. Ensign Tabus is a graduate of University of Pennsylvania, Wharton School of Business. Ensign Torres. Ensign Torres has been designated a student naval aviator and will be assigned to the Aviation Pre-Flight Indoctrination in Pensacola, Florida. Ensign Torres is a graduate of the University of Miami. Ensign Violena Celis. Ensign Violena Celis has been designated a surface warfare officer and will be assigned to the USS Gunston Hall, LSD-44 in Norfolk, Virginia. Ensign Violena Celis is a graduate of American Military University. Ensign Wilson. Ensign Wilson has been designated a surface warfare officer and will be assigned to the USS San Diego LPD-22 in San Diego, California. Ensign Wilson is a graduate of Old Dominion University. Ensign Whiteco. Ensign Whiteco has been designated a surface warfare officer and will be assigned to the USS James E. Williams, DDG-95 in Norfolk, Virginia. Ensign Whiteco is a graduate of Washington State University.
Ensign Jeunesse. Ensign Jeunesse has been designated a surface warfare officer and will be assigned to the USS Somerset LPD-25 in San Diego, California. Ensign Jeunesse is a graduate of Indiana University. Ensign Fettner. Ensign Fettner has been designated a Civil Engineering Corps officer and will be assigned to the Naval Mobile Construction Battalion in Gulfport, Mississippi. Ensign Fettner is a graduate of the University of Alabama and is a distinguished naval graduate. Ensign Hahn. Ensign Hahn has been designated a nuclear submarine officer and will be assigned to the Nuclear Power School in Charleston, South Carolina. Ensign Hahn is a graduate of Hillsdale College. Ensign Schroth. Ensign Schroth has been designated a Civil Engineering Corps officer and will be assigned to Naval Facilities Engineering in Camp Lejeune, North Carolina. Ensign Schroth is a graduate of San Diego State University. Ensign Perry. Ensign Perry has been designated a Civil Engineering Corps officer and will be assigned to the Naval Facilities Marine Corps Air Station in Cherry Point, North Carolina. Ensign Perry is a graduate of Oregon Tech. Ensign Tonsky. Ensign Tonsky has been designated a Supply Corps officer and will be assigned to the Navy Supply Corps School in Newport, Rhode Island. Ensign Tonsky is a graduate of American Military University. Ensign Richmond. Ensign Richmond has been designated an intelligence officer and will be assigned to the Naval Intelligence Officer Basic Course in Virginia Beach, Virginia. Ensign Richmond is a graduate of Purdue University. Ensign Lopez. Ensign Lopez has been designated a student naval aviator and will be assigned to the Aviation Pre-Flight Indoctrination in Pensacola, Florida. Ensign Lopez is a graduate of Florida Institute of Technology. Ensign Park. Ensign Park has been designated a Civil Engineering Corps officer and will be assigned to the Naval Mobile Construction Battalion in Gulfport, Mississippi. Ensign Park is a graduate of Georgia Institute of Technology. Ensign Ash. Ensign Ash has been designated a surface warfare officer and will be assigned to the USS Germantown LSD-42 in Sasebo, Japan. Ensign Ash is a graduate of Iowa State University. Ensign Alsrew. Ensign Alsrew has been designated an intelligence officer and will be assigned to the Naval Intelligence Officer Basic Course in Virginia Beach, Virginia. Ensign Alsrew is a graduate of Troy University. Ensign Bell. Ensign Bell has been designated an intelligence officer and will be assigned to the Naval Intelligence Officer Basic Course, Virginia Beach, Virginia. Ensign Bell is a graduate of the University of Cincinnati. Ensign Cedrone. Ensign Cedrone has been designated a nuclear surface warfare officer and will be assigned to the USS Chaffee DDG-90 in Pearl Harbor, Hawaii. Ensign Cedrone is a graduate of the University of North Carolina, Charlotte, and is a distinguished naval graduate. Ensign Chen. Ensign Chen has been designated a Civil Engineering Corps officer and will be assigned to the Naval Mobile Construction Battalion in Port Hueneme, California. Ensign Chen is a graduate of Case Western Reserve University. Ensign Crisafulli. Ensign Crisafulli has been designated a student naval aviator and will be assigned to the Naval Aviation Pre-Flight Indoctrination in Pensacola, Florida. Ensign Crisafulli is a graduate of the University of Central Florida. Ensign Croto. Ensign Croto has been designated a student naval aviator and will be assigned to the Aviation Pre-Flight Indoctrination in Pensacola, Florida. Ensign Croto is a graduate of Suffolk University. Ensign Dahl. Ensign Dahl has been designated an intelligence officer and will be assigned to the Naval Intelligence Officer Basic Course in Virginia Beach, Virginia. Ensign Dahl is a graduate of the University of Iowa and is a distinguished naval graduate. Ensign Dodrell. Ensign Dodrell has been designated a surface warfare officer and will be assigned to the USS William P. Lawrence DDG-110 in Pearl Harbor, Hawaii. Ensign Dodrell is a graduate of Colorado State University. Ensign Espinosa. Ensign Espinosa has been designated a Supply Corps officer and will be assigned to the Navy Supply Corps School in Newport, Rhode Island. Ensign Espinosa is a graduate of Kentucky State University. Ensign Burns. Ensign Burns has been designated a nuclear submarine officer and will be assigned to the Nuclear Power School in Charleston, South Carolina. Ensign Burns is a graduate of Virginia Polytechnic Institute and State University and is a distinguished naval graduate. Ensign Fletcher. Ensign Fletcher has been designated an information professional and will be assigned to the Information Warfare Training Command in Dam Neck, Virginia. Ensign Fletcher is a graduate of ECPI University. Ensign Galvin. Ensign Galvin has been designated a surface warfare officer and will be assigned to the USS Mitcher, DDG-57 in Norfolk, Virginia. Ensign Galvin is a graduate of Texas Tech University. Ensign Yanavel. Ensign Yanavel has been designated a nuclear submarine officer and will be assigned to the Nuclear Power School in Charleston, South Carolina. Ensign Yanavel is a graduate of the University of Pittsburgh. Ensign Hodges. Ensign Hodges has been designated a nuclear submarine officer and will be assigned to the Nuclear Power School in Charleston, South Carolina. Ensign Hodges is a graduate of Virginia Polytechnic Institute and State University. Ensign Nguyen. Ensign Nguyen has been designated a Supply Corps officer and will be assigned to the Navy Supply Corps School in Newport, Rhode Island. Ensign Nguyen is a graduate of San Jose State University. Ensign Laff. Ensign Laff has been designated an intelligence officer and will be assigned to the Naval Intelligence Officer Basic Course, Virginia Beach, Virginia. Ensign Laff is a graduate of Southern Illinois University. Ensign Lloyd. Ensign Lloyd has been designated a nuclear submarine officer and will be assigned to the Nuclear Power School in Charleston, South Carolina. Ensign Lloyd is a graduate of the Stevens Institute of Technology. Ensign Lozano. Ensign Lozano has been designated a surface warfare officer and will be assigned to the USS Dewey, DDG-105 in San Diego, California. Ensign Lozano is a graduate of Augustana University. Ensign McCowan. Ensign McCowan has been designated a cryptologic warfare officer and will be assigned to the Naval Cyber Defense Command operations in Suffolk, Virginia. Ensign McCowan is a graduate of Missouri State University. Ensign Maharg. Ensign Maharg has been designated a student naval aviator and will be assigned to the Aviation Pre-Flight Indoctrination in Pensacola, Florida. Ensign Maharg is a graduate of Western Michigan University. Ensign Moeller. Ensign Moeller has been designated a student naval aviator and will be assigned to the Aviation Pre-Flight Indoctrination in Pensacola, Florida. Ensign Moeller is a graduate of California Polytechnic State University, San Luis Obispo. Ensign Mustafi. Ensign Mustafi has been designated a student naval aviator and will be assigned to the Aviation Pre-Flight Indoctrination in Pensacola, Florida. Ensign Mustafi is a graduate of California Polytechnic State University, San Luis Obispo. Ensign Patel. Ensign Patel has been designated a surface warfare officer and will be assigned to the USS Curtis Wilbur, DDG 54 in Yokosuka, Japan. Ensign Patel is a graduate of New York Institute of Technology. Ensign Perrin. Ensign Perrin has been designated an information professional and will be assigned to the Information Warfare Training Command in Dam Neck, Virginia. Ensign Perrin is a graduate of Iowa State University. Ensign Panetta. Ensign Panetta has been designated a Supply Corps officer and will be assigned to the Navy Supply Corps School in Newport, Rhode Island. Ensign Panetta is a graduate of California State University, San Marcos. Ensign Kizan. Ensign Kizan has been designated a Supply Corps officer and will be assigned to the Navy Supply Corps School in Newport, Rhode Island. Ensign Kizan is a graduate of Florida Institute of Technology and is a distinguished naval graduate. Ensign Ricker. Ensign Ricker has been designated a student naval flight officer and will be assigned to the Naval Aviation Pre-Flight Indoctrination in Pensacola, Florida. Ensign Ricker is a graduate of the University of Rhode Island. Ensign Ryder. Ensign Ryder has been designated a surface warfare officer and will be assigned to DDG 92 USS Momsen in Everett, Washington. Ensign Ryder is a graduate of Kansas State University. Ensign Salcedo. Ensign Salcedo has been designated a surface warfare officer and will be assigned to DDG 104 USS Sterett in San Diego, California. Ensign Salcedo is a graduate of Colorado State University. Ensign Sager. Ensign Sager has been designated a surface warfare officer and will be assigned to USS Cowpens CG-63 in San Diego, California. Ensign Sager is a graduate of Angelo State University. Ensign Semple. Ensign Semple has been designated a surface warfare officer and will be assigned to USS Jason Dunham DDG 109 in Norfolk, Virginia. Ensign Semple is a graduate of Elon University and is a distinguished naval graduate. Ensign Smith. Ensign Smith has been designated a surface warfare officer and will be assigned to USS Thomas Hudner, DDG 116 in Mayport, Florida. Ensign Smith is a graduate of the University of Houston. Ensign Trexler. Ensign Trexler has been designated an intelligence officer and will be assigned to the Naval Intelligence Officer Basic Course, Virginia Beach, Virginia. Ensign Trexler is a graduate of the University of Delaware. Ensign Trombley. Ensign Trombley has been designated a surface warfare officer and will be assigned to USS Laboon, DDG 58 in Norfolk, Virginia. Ensign Trombley is a graduate of the University of Virginia. Ensign Tribus. Ensign Tribus has been designated a surface warfare officer and will be assigned to USS Bainbridge, DDG 96 in Norfolk, Virginia. Ensign Tribus is a graduate of Rutgers University. Ensign Vinson. Ensign Vinson has been designated a student naval aviator and will be assigned to the Aviation Pre-Flight Indoctrination in Pensacola, Florida. Ensign Vinson is a graduate of Southern Illinois University. Ensign Wesner. Ensign Wesner has been designated a student naval flight officer and will be assigned to the Aviation Pre-Flight Indoctrination in Pensacola, Florida. Ensign Wesner is a graduate of the University of Missouri, Columbia. Ladies and gentlemen, please join me in recognizing the Navy's newest ensigns. Ladies and gentlemen, please rise for the playing of the service songs and the final dismissal. Please remain in your places until after graduating class has taken their class photo. On behalf of the commanding officer, Officer Training Command Newport, thank you for attending today's ceremony. Ladies and gentlemen, this concludes the graduation ceremony. Sorry, Sergeant. Yep. Senior Chief, thank you very much.